Hello students, in the today's class we are moving on to see the next chapter, that is the biotechnology principle and process. So here we are going to see the biotechnological definition, then tools of principles of biotechnology, then tools of genetic engineering, then also we will see the gel electrophoresis, then we will see the recombinant DNA technology, bioreactor. Now in this chapter we have to see what is the biotechnology. Okay, so biotechnology basically it is nothing but the technique of using live organisms or their enzymes for products and process useful to human beings. That means usage of the biological organisms. Okay, from the biological organisms enzymes are extracted and synthesizes the enzymes are extracted and synthesizes the products, okay, which is useful for the human beings, for the welfare of the mankind. The total main aim of the biotechnology is to help for human beings, okay, to help for human beings. So usually in all the cases the human beings should get every need, every facility. So it is the main aim of the biotechnology. Now according to European Federation of Biotechnology, what is the definition? See, according to European definition of biotechnology, so this is very important for CET and also for the NEET. Okay, see this point EFB, expand EFB they may ask, or they may ask the definition, that is the integration of natural science and organism. Okay, that means the biological organisms, their parts, their cells are utilized for the synthesis of the products and the services for human beings. Okay, synthesis of the products and services for human beings. So that is the very important point regarding the CET and the NEET. Okay, then next is we are moving on to see the where this biotechnology is utilized maximum. So biotechnology is dealing with the micro-mediated process. That means using the yeast, okay, using certain other organisms, bacteria. The conversion are done, like making curd, it may be bread, it may be wine, it may be. So all these are done by this biotechnological method. Usually from the ancient days onwards it has been done, but nowadays science has improved a lot, that they are discovering each and every step what we are keeping in the future. Okay, so that is totally the biotechnological based technique. Then we will see the in vitro fertilization. That means those who don't have, those couples who don't have the childrens, they can go for this technique, that is test tube baby technique or in vitro fertilization technique. Already this you have seen in the reproductive health topic. Okay, in the reproductive health topic you have seen this topic, that is in vitro fertilization. Then biotechnology also deals with the synthesis and using of a gene. See, if any faulty gene is there, okay, suppose if any faulty gene is there, then this faulty gene, that means the gene which is not working properly, this faulty gene is leading to the genetical disorder. Okay, faulty gene is leading to the genetical disorder. So that is removed by using the technique called as gene therapy. Once again, this is the technique of the biotechnology. Okay, next, biotechnology also deals with the preparation of the DNA vaccine. Okay, I have told you, that is the vaccine like penicillin, it may be injections. Okay, then antibiotics, medicinal products, it may be antibiotics, it may be. So all these are produced by the biotechnological method. And already I have told you, it is nothing but the gene therapy, correcting of a gene therapy defective gene which is leading to the disorder, genetical disorder. So correcting that technique is also done with the biotechnology. Okay, next, here we are going to see the core techniques of modern biotechnology, that is principles of biotechnology. Two principles are there. One is called as genetic engineering, other one is called as bioprocess engineering. Now in the genetic engineering, what we are going to see, it is the technique in which the genetic material is chemically altered and introduced into host organism to change the phenotype. See, I'll tell you the example here. A is the one organism, B is the one organism. So B organism DNA is inserted into the A to produce the recombinant DNA. Okay, to produce the recombinant DNA. This is one. This is called as what? Genetic engineering. Detail we'll talk in for future further slides. Okay. Then bioprocess engineering means maintenance of the sterile environment in the working with the microorganisms, which is synthesized in the laboratory condition. Laboratory condition should be very sterile. Sterile means it should be free from harmful organisms like harmful bacteria which are destroying the things. Okay, we want to synthesize some antibiotics, then harmful bacteria will destroy this antibiotics. If we want to synthesize some vaccine, then harmful bacteria or viruses may enter inside the nutrient culture media and may destroy that vaccine. So maintenance of sterile environment is also necessary for the bioprocess engineering or genetic engineering. So these are the two basic principles what you have to remember. Next, basic steps in genetically modifying an organism. See, I have told you, if we want to insert the DNA from one organism to the another organism, certain steps we have to follow. First, we have to identify which DNA we want to insert from which organism to which organism. Okay, so that is the first step, identification of the DNA with the desirable gene. Okay, what is the second step? In which of the organism we have to insert. So the organism which is getting the foreign DNA, okay, the organism which is getting the foreign DNA is called as host organism. Okay, so that is why, so identified DNA is inserted into the host organism. That is the second step. Third step is maintenance of introduced DNA into the host and transfer of the DNA to its progeny. So in the host, okay, if the foreign DNA is present, then it is transferred to the another organism which is carrying this. Okay, this is called as what? Host organism. Okay, which is carrying the foreign DNA organism, and it has to be taken care that it should go in the future generation. Okay, it should go in the future generation. So that is the third step, maintenance of the introduced DNA in the host and transfer the DNA into to its progeny. Next, so same explanation they have given, identification of DNA with the desirable gene. Then here you can see that host organism. So this is the host organism I have told you, and this is the host DNA. This is the plasmid which is consisting of foreign DNA. And recombinant DNA means what? See, inside the plasmid, first of all, plasmids are, see, inside this plasmid the foreign organism DNA is inserted, and then here it is cloned, okay, which is called as what? Transformed cell. Okay, next. Okay, so this is over. Okay, the process of joining and inserting of a foreign piece of DNA into a host organism to produce new genetic recombination is called as recombinant DNA technology. This means two organisms are combined, two organisms DNA are combined. This is called as recombinant DNA technology. So it has been discovered by Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer. These are the two scientists who has discovered this technique, and they have isolated an antibiotic resistance gene. That means a piece of DNA. Antibiotic resistant gene means it should have a resistance capacity. A piece of DNA from the plasmid of Salmonella typhi. So this is the Salmonella typhoerum bacteria. From this bacteria, plasmid has been extracted. So plasmid usually double-stranded circular self-replicating chromosomes. Okay, so these are extracted, and it is linked with the plasmid vector. Okay, vector means which is carrying the DNA. Carrying the DNA. Vectors means what? Carrying the DNA. Okay, so into the E. coli. Okay, into the E. coli. As a result, the gene was expressed. E. coli na insert madidmele, after inserting inside the E. coli, this is going to multiply. So that is the third step that they wanted to say. Okay, next. Okay, finally we have reached our destination, that is tools of recombinant DNA technology. So till now what I have told, it was complete the introduction and definition of the biotechnology. Okay. Okay, so here we are going to see the tools of the genetic engineering or the tools of biotechnology. First of all, the REN, second one is cloning vector, third one is competent host. Now we'll see one by one what is this REN. So these are the enzymes which cut the DNA at the specific site. Now see here students, specific site here, suppose GAATTC CTTAAG. So G triple weak hydrogen bond C, A double weak hydrogen bond AT. Like this we have to pair the made the complementary base pairs. Okay, so these are the enzymes which cut the DNA at the specific site into fragments, and they belong to the enzyme called as nucleases. So REN itself is a restriction endonucleases. What is REN here? Restriction endonucleases. That is the REN. So this REN enzyme will cut the DNA at the specific site. See, you can see this one. Particular site will be there. Okay, that is called as what? Molecular scissor. That is why it is called as what? Molecular scissor, because it will go up to the DNA and it will cut the DNA. Okay, further we'll see what points are there here. So in 1963, who discovered this? That is first of all, it has been discovered in 1963. Two enzymes responsible for restricting growth of bacteriophage in E. coli were isolated. Okay, what does this mean? See, this is the bacteria. Okay, this is the bacteriophage. Okay, actually the bacteriophage is going to grow inside the bacteria, but this was restricted. Okay, this growth is restricted because of some enzymes, that is the REN. Growth is restricted because of some enzyme, that is REN. Okay, so this is the restriction endonucleases. So more than 900 restriction enzymes have been isolated from 230 strains. Okay, so this is once again, they may ask or they may not ask, but this is important. Okay, next, first letter. Now rules of indicating the REN or naming of the REN we'll see. So first letter, it should be genus name, as it is, I have already told you. Second letter, it should be species name, which is indicated by 2 letters. Okay, then for example eco R1 they have given, so it is R is the strain. Okay, and Roman number 1 is the Roman number, the order in which enzymes were isolated from that strain of bacteria. Okay, so how many, suppose it is second enzyme is extracted, it should be the Roman number 2. If third enzyme is extracted, it is Roman number 3. Like that it has been named. Okay, then types of restriction enzymes we are going to see. So two types of endonucleases are there, restriction enzymes are there. One is called as exonuclease. They remove the nucleotides after cutting the DNA. See, after cutting the DNA they are going to remove. This is called as what? Exonucleases. Endonucleases, what they will do? They cut the DNA at the specific position. Okay, particular specific position is there. They will cut that DNA at that site and they bind the other end of the DNA, which is called as sticky end. Okay, so this is called as what? Sticky end. So that we'll see in the next slide. Okay, see, you can see first restriction endonuclease is HindII2. Okay, you can see HindII2 is the first restriction endonucleases. So here it is. So it is the sequence of HindII2 is GT PYPUAC. Okay, CAPUPYTG. So it is nothing but a sequence which has been extracted in the bacteria called as Haemophilus influenzae. Okay, Haemophilus. HindII2 means what? Haemophilus influenzae. It has been extracted by the bacteria called as Haemophilus influenzae. It cuts the DNA at specific sites where 6 base pairs are present. Now see here students, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here 6. Okay, so 6 base pairs are present here. 3 plus 3 here, you can see. So that is called as recognition sequence. What do we call for that? Recognition sequence, and it is also called as palindromic sequence. What it is also called? It is also called as what? Palindromic sequence. So likewise here, from the various bacteria, various restriction enzymes, specific sites has been found out from various bacteria. Okay, so these are the palindromic sequences. Okay, next slide, what we are going to see is, I have told you palindromic nucleotide means it should have 6 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 base pairs should be there. It should have 6 base pairs, then complementary to each other. Okay, and it should read similar in both direction. 5 dash to 3 dash, 3 dash to 5 dash. This is called as what? Palindromic sequence, once again, which is very important for the NEET and the CET. Okay, it is going to be asked for the NEET and the CET. Got? Okay. Next here is, we are moving on to see restriction enzyme cut the DNA strand a little away from the center of palindromic site, but between the same two bases on the opposite strand. This leaves single stranded overhanging stretches the end. They are called as sticky ends. Now what is the sticky end? See, REN will leave some space and it will cut the DNA. Okay, so this one organism DNA and the other organism DNA, they will take care that they should match with each other. So the free cut end of DNA is called as what? Sticky end. The free cut end of DNA is called as what? Sticky end. So this sticky end, okay, this sticky end is done by this REN. Okay, so that is the one more point. Next, sticky ends form, yes, what they will do, sticky ends, they form the hydrogen bonds. Okay, and then they are going to join with the another cutted sequence. Okay, so this is this is joined by the enzyme called as DNA ligase. Okay, DNA ligase is joining the two sticky ends. Okay, now, okay, well, now we'll move for the recombinant DNA technology. So this is a step. These are the steps where they are showing the process of the recombinant DNA technology. What they are showing? They are showing the process of recombinant DNA technology. So this is the foreign DNA which has been extracted from the other organism. This is the vector DNA, or we can say it is the plasmid. So this plasmid is a double-stranded self-replicating extrachromosomal DNA. So this has been cutted by enzyme called as REN, and this REN is getting the foreign organism DNA and it is joined here. It is called as what? A recombinant DNA. What do we call for that? It is called as recombinant DNA molecule. Then this recombinant DNA molecule is transferred into the E. coli bacteria. As you people know that when the E. coli bacteria is grown in the culture media, then what happens? It is helping for the multiplication of the even recombinant DNA also. Understood? So these are the steps of the recombinant DNA technology. Okay. Now next is, we are moving on to see, yes, in a DNA molecule that can carry foreign DNA segment and replicate inside the host cell. So this is the plasmid and bacteriophage. It is the bacteria. Okay. And next is, plasmids are self-replicating. Of course, I have told you, double-stranded they are, self-replicating they are, extra-chromosomal they are, and circular. Okay, and nearly 30 plasmids can produce per cell. Okay, per cell 1 to 2 copies, it is wrong information. Nearly 30 copies are produced per cell, and others bacteriophages have very high copy numbers of their genome in the bacteria. Even bacteriophage also can produce the plasmids. Okay. Now, okay, next is, we are moving on to the second tool. Or till here you have seen the first tool, that is REN. Now second tool, that is vector. We are going to see cloning vectors. So first of all, vectors are the vehicles of DNA which is carrying the foreign organism DNA into it. Okay, so in that we are going to see origin of replication, selectable marker, cloning site, vector for cloning genes in plants and animals. Now we'll go for what is this origin of replication. See, ORI will come. What is this? CET and NEET. This point will come. What is ORI? So it is a sequence where replication starts. Okay, origin of replication, we will say it is a sequence where the replication starts. A piece of DNA is linked to the ORI within the host cell. It also controls the copy number of linked DNA for getting many copies of target DNA. It should clone in a vector whose origin support high copy number. That means it is the position where it is helping for the replication. Okay, it is the position where it is helping for replication. Next, selectable marker. Now what is the meaning of? See, this is also very important for the CET and the NEET. What is the meaning of selectable marker? It is the gene where it is allowing the transformant bacteria to grow and not allowing the non-transformant bacteria to grow. Now what is the meaning of transformant bacteria? See, those bacteria which are consisting of recombinant DNA. Let me take the color here. Okay, so those bacteria which are consisting of recombinant DNA are called as transformant bacteria. Okay, what do we call for that? It is called as transformant bacteria. And those bacteria which are not consisting of the foreign organism, foreign recombinant DNA, it is called as non-transformant bacteria. Okay, non-transformant bacteria. So here same thing. Okay, transformant and the non-transformant. So they will take care of that. Okay, these are the special sites, selectable markers. Now in further slide also we'll see. It is two selectable markers are there, that is ampicillin resistant gene and the tetracycline resistant gene. Okay, how many are there? Two, that is ampicillin resistant gene and tetracycline. Okay, tetracycline resistant gene. So two selectable markers are there. So ampicillin resistant gene is not allowing the growth of the non-transformant bacteria. Ampicillin, what it will do? It will not allow the growth of the non-transformant bacteria. Whereas the tetracycline, in the tetracycline we are going to insert the foreign DNA. Okay, in the tetracycline what we are going to see here students? We are going to insert the foreign DNA. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೊಂದು organism DNA ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ insert ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. This is a place where the foreign organisms DNA can be inserted. So this is a speciality of the two selectable markers. Okay. Now next is we are moving on to see the cloning sites. So what are these cloning sites? These are nothing but the foreign organisms DNA can be joined even in the related with the ORI also. Okay, more than one recognition sites generate several fragments, so it complicates the gene cloning. Okay, of course we can insert here one gene, but here one gene, here one gene, here one gene, here one gene, but the plasmid will be under confusion that which gene I have to clone. Okay, namaga vande gene, suppose this is the gene we want in a larger amount. Along with this gene, if we insert the other genes also, let me change the color for other genes. Along with the gene, if we insert this also, if we insert this also, if we insert this also, the plasmid is failing. Okay, the plasmid is failing to replicate, or we can say to produce a multiple number of copies. Okay, to produce a multiple number of target DNA. That is why these are not used much. Okay, that is why these cloning sites are not used much. Okay, now next is we are moving on to see the ligation. Okay, so here ligation of the alien DNA is carried out a antibiotic. Oh, I have told you this one. Tetracycline resistant gene is the place where the foreign DNA is inserted, where we are going to see the presence of BAMH1. Okay, and in the vector PBR322. So what you are going to see is PBR322 you are going to see. Okay, so this is the structure of PBR322. Plasmid of Bolivar and Rodriguez will see. Plasmid of Bolivar and Rodriguez. Okay, plasmid of Bolivar and Rodriguez. This is the PBR322 will say. Okay, now a feature required for cloning into a vector. Now here students see, when a foreign DNA is inserted within a gene of bacteria, that gene is inactivated. It is called insertional inactivation. ಯಾವಾಗ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಡಿ ಎನ್ ಎ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಒಳಗೆ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಆವಾಗ ಆ ಜೀನು ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ that gene to become activate. Okay, for that purpose they will use the nutrient media which is consisting of ampicillin. So it is left to grow overnight. Okay, it is left to grow overnight. At that time what happens? Ampicillin resistant gene will kill the non-transformant bacteria, whereas it is helping to grow the transformant bacteria. Okay, it is helping to grow transformant bacteria. Okay, and the three types of cells are obtained here. Which are those? That is non-transformant, transformant with recombinant plasmid, transformant with non-recombinant plasmid, and transformant with recombinant plasmid. So I have told you, those bacteria which are not consisting of plasmid, they are non-transformed. But those bacteria which are consisting of vector but no plasmid, and those bacteria which is consisting of vector along with the plasmid, it is called as what? Transformed. Okay. Now after this, we don't want non-transformant bacteria. So I have told you already, the tetracycline resistant gene is inactive here, okay, in the non-recombinant DNA. So this is the removed, okay, this is removed in the ampicillin resistant gene, and finally they will be producing the only recombinant plasmid. Okay, these are the recombinant plasmid. Okay, and these are non-recombinant plasmids. So this one, these are the non-recombinant plasmid. Okay, so that is done by the ampicillin resistant gene. Okay, the same, thus one antibiotic resistant gene help in the transformant, and the other one is going to it is going to remove the transformant. Okay, now next we are going to see what is the chromogenetic substrate. Chromogenetic substrate means, see, this type of selection of recombinant DNA, recombinants, is difficult procedure because it needs simultaneous plating on two plates. Okay, ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ recombinant ಯಾವ್ದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ನಾನ್ recombinant ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. So for that purpose two plates are required. Okay, so alternative selectable markers are developed based on their ability to produce color in presence of chromogenic substrate. So here this is one plate, this is one plate. Okay, here the what is inserted, beta galactosidase. Yes, here it is, beta galactosidase enzyme is inserted. When the beta galactosidase enzyme is inserted, it is going to become colored substrate. Okay, colored substrate. Even here also beta galactosidase is inserted, but here not it is not going to form the color. Okay, no insertion. So insertion iddaga white colonies produce ಆಗ್ತಾ, ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ blue colonies produce ಆಗ್ತಾ. So finally we have to see that the blue colonies is consisting of recombinant plasmids. Okay, white colonies idre recombinant plasmids iralla, blue colonies idre recombinant plasmids irtava. Okay, so if the plasmid in bacteria have no insert, it gives blue color colonies in a chromogenic substrate. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. Okay, now you can see blue and white colonies here they have shown. In this, recombinant DNA is inserted into the coding sequence of an enzyme called as beta galactosidase. So it is inactivated, which is called as insertion inactivation. Such colonies do not produce color. Anta colonies color produce madala. But if the identification of recombinant colonies is seen, then in bacteria have no an insert, it gives blue color. Suppose if the beta galactosidase, if it is inserted, not inserted, it shows blue colors normally. So this is the blue and the white colony. So it is consisting of the recombinant plasmid, we'll say. Okay, next. Okay, so vectors for cloning genes in plants and animals. Here we are going to see that in the plants we are going to see the Agrobacterium tumefaciens, which is used as a vector in the case of plant bodies. In the animals, retroviruses we are using as a vector in the plant bodies, animals. Okay, next here we are moving on to see Agrobacterium tumefaciens is delivering a piece of DNA that is called as tDNA. So this is a piece of the DNA which is called as tDNA, that is transfer DNA. What is tDNA? It is the transfer DNA. So this tumor cells produce the chemicals required by the pathogen. So these tumor cells has to be removed. Okay, the tumor cells has to be removed, and here the it is required by the pathogen. Okay, pathogen is removed there. Tumor inducing plasmids of Agrobacterium tumefaciens is modified into a cloning vector which is not pathogenic, but it can use the mechanism to deliver the genes of interest into the plant bodies. Of course, ಟಿ ಐ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಟಿ ಐ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಟ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಇಂಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಟ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜೆನಿಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಜೀನ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ agrobacterium remufation is utilized. Same with the, okay, so your same it is repeated. Now we'll go for the retrovirus. So retroviruses in an animal can transform normal cell into cancerous cell. Oncogenes anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, the genes which is able to produce a cancerous cell. Okay, so since DNA is a hydrophilic molecule, that means it is it cannot pass through the cell membranes. It is avoiding the water molecule, so it is not passing through the cell membrane. So the bacterial cell must be made competent to take up alien DNA for plasmid. ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗ ನಾವು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ರೀಕಾಂಬಿನೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಡನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್? ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಡೈವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಯಾನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ. ಓಕೆ, calcium bacteria is treated with the divalent cation called as calcium antheli. Okay, so this is the calcium which is delivering the what to say bacteria to treat with the calcium chloride solution. Okay, next step we are going to see, this is the step. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಗಿಬೇಕು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. Okay, then it is taken for the high temperature 42 degrees Celsius. Then once again it is taken to the ice. So calcium chloride solution ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತು 42 ಡಿಗ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಐಸ್ನಾಗ ಹಾಕಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ the pores are created on the cell membrane and usually the plasmid is entered inside the host cell which is called as transformed bacteria. So this is how it is made ready. First to hold calcium chloride solution. Okay, calcium chloride solution ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Then it is treated to the 42 degrees Celsius temperature. Then once again back to the ice. Okay, now other tools, if we see other methods to introduce alien DNA, so this is called as micro injection DNA. Okay, so recombinant DNA is directly injected into nucleus of an animal cell. Is now this micro injection is directly introduced into the nucleus of an animal cell like this. Okay, then biolistics, cells are bombarded with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten coated with DNA. This method is suitable for plants. This is called as what? Biolistics method. And other one is disarmed pathogen vector. Infect the cell, transfer recombinant to the host. First host ಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ DNA transfer ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Along with the picture you can see it is very clear. Then next is the steps of the recombinant DNA technology. It is the last concept of this topic. Please concentrate here. Recombinant DNA technology, first step is isolation of the genetic material, cutting of the DNA at the specific site, amplification of gene of interest by using PCR, insertion of the recombinant DNA into host cell, obtaining the foreign gene product. So these are the 5 steps of the recombinant DNA technology. So here we are going to see that how the isolation of the genetic material is done. It is treated if from the various organisms the DNA is extracted. Okay, from the various organisms the DNA is extracted. So this is pistil and motor we will say. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಪಿಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Suppose if we want to extract the DNA from the bacteria, okay, so to disintegrate the cell wall of the bacteria, lysozyme enzyme is utilized. Suppose if we want to extract the DNA from the fungi, then to remove the fungal cell wall component, chitinase is utilized. Suppose if we want to extract the DNA from the plant bodies, cellulase enzyme is utilized to remove the cell wall component. Okay, the cell is broken, releasing the DNA, okay, and macromolecules and other macromolecules. ಅದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? DNA ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಸೆಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, now see here, RNA is removed by treating with the ribonuclease. ಸೊ ಇದು RNA ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತಾರ, ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತಾರ, and protease also removed. Okay, then what happens here? When it is a chilled ethyl alcohol, okay, and in this we are going to get the purified DNA. So this is the purified DNA. okay, separated DNA from the various organism and it is fine thread like structure. Okay, ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫೈಡ್ DNA ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀರಿ. Okay, okay, next is we are moving on to see the second step. So cutting of the DNA at the specific site. Already I have told you the REN is purified DNA ತಗೊಂಡು REN ತಗೊಂಡು DNA is cutted into the specific site, particular position called as palindromic sequence. Okay, particularly a particular sequence called as palindromic sequence will be there. So it will recognize that palindromic sequence and it will cut the DNA at that sequence. Then it is taken for the gel electrophoresis. Now students, what picture you are going to see? It is a gel electrophoresis. This is the gel slab. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು gel slab ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ. This is the connector. Okay, this is the agarose gel. Okay, and these are the wells created here. Okay, and DNA is inserted in this and it is on. The switch is connected to the connector and switch is on. So accordingly what happens here? It is going to produce the bands. Okay, what it is going to produce? It is going to produce the bands, and then since the DNA is a negatively charged particle, okay, since the DNA is a negatively charged particle, it will move to the positively charged particle in the form of bands. Okay, like this. Got? So here same they have shown. So it is separated in the agarose gel in the form of bands. Okay, gel electrophoresis we will see. Okay, next is, see, you can see the bands produced here. So same technique is utilized in the DNA fingerprinting also. Okay, same technique is utilized in the DNA fingerprinting also. Like for example, after that, so these are the white colorless bands. To convert them into color, they are adding the ethidium bromide solution. Okay, and they are taking that for the UV radiation X-ray machine. It is converted to orange color. Then it is separated, which is called as elution. What do we call? It is called as elution. Okay, now you can see how the DNA is cutted. Okay, so DNA bands are separated and it is called as elution. I have told you the cut out gene of interest from source DNA and cut vector are mixed and ligases. It is called as recombinant DNA. Same here. This is one vector, this is one vector and it is joined here. This is called as recombinant DNA. Over. Okay. Yes. Now we'll see the amplification of gene of interest by using PCR. Now what is amplification? Amplification is nothing but multiplication of the, okay, what is amplification? Multiplication of DNA, target DNA. Okay, multiplication of target DNA without changing the sequence. Okay, sequence change ಆಗಲಾರ್ದನೆ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ we will say. Okay, without changing the sequence, the target DNA is multiplied. That is called as amplification, and that is done by the polymerase chain reaction. And also two sets of primers are required. DNA polymerase is required. Oligonucleotides are required. Okay. Okay. Next step we'll see what are the steps here. So this PCR technique is having the three steps: denaturation, annealing and the extension. Now what is denaturation? It is nothing but heating of the target DNA at high temperature, that is 94. When you heat the target DNA, what happens? The double stranded DNA is converted into single stranded DNA. Okay, the double stranded DNA is converted to single stranded DNA. Okay, then after that heating process, we'll see annealing process. What is this annealing? Joining of the two primers we'll see. Okay, two primers are joined here at the 52 degrees Celsius temperature. Okay, at the three end. Got? After annealing, we'll see extension. Okay, what is this extension? Addition of nucleotides. See here, addition of the nucleotides to the primers with the enzyme called as thermostable enzyme called as DNA polymerase called Taq polymerase. Taq is nothing but Thermus aquaticus. It is the name of the bacteria. Already they have given here. It is the name of the bacteria called as Thermus aquaticus. From this, the Taq polymerase is extracted and double stranded DNA is converted to single stranded. and continuously by doing this technique 1 billion copies of DNA can be produced here by this PCR technique without changing the sequences. Now once you can make the glance. So this is the Taq polymerase enzyme. It is a buffer solution. It is a PCR tube. These are the oligonucleotides. These are the primers. This is the DNA sample. Now we want this DNA sample to multiply without changing the sequence. So this is the machine called as thermocycler. What do we say for this? It is the thermocycler machine which is helping to multiply the target DNA. Okay, which is helping to multiply the target DNA without changing the sequences. So first step, what you have seen, denaturation you have seen, it is working at 94 degrees Celsius temperature. What happens? The double stranded DNA is converted to single stranded DNA. Then annealing will come. It will work at 52 degrees Celsius. That means primers are joined here. After that, the enzyme Taq polymerase will come. Okay, Taq polymerase, which is helping to join, okay, at the 72 degrees Celsius, which is continuing the cycle. Okay, this is the PCR at glance. Next, after multiplying the host DNA, okay, target DNA, it is inserted into the host cell. Okay, so this is the target DNA we have completed, and we are inserted that into the plasmid, which has become recombinant plasmid. This is the host cell. Okay, so I have told you what is made to the host cell. Treated with the cold calcium chloride solution, then it is taken to the high temperature, then it is returned back to the ice. By this, what happens? The pores are created on the cell membrane, then the plasmid can be inserted inside the host cell, which is called as transformed bacteria. So this transformed cell is grown in the medium called as ampicillin. Okay, when the transformed bacteria is grown in the ampicillin region, only we are going to see the killing of the non-transformant bacteria. Only there is a presence of the transformed bacteria. Okay, so this is the fourth step. Now after this, fifth step, what we are going to see is the obtaining the foreign gene product. How the foreign gene is product is obtained here? That is by the desirable protein. Recombinant DNA technology is to produce a desirable protein. So if a protein encoding foreign gene is expressed in a heterologous host, it is called as recombinant protein. Okay, suppose if the protein is produced by different host, it is called as what? Recombinant protein they have shown. Okay, now last step, you can see the bioreactors. See, these are the bioreactors. They are the large stainless steel container, which is a cylindrical shaped structure, and they have a motor here. Okay, then fume, what parts they are consisting, foam part they are consisting. Okay, here in this we are putting the microbial organisms, or plant we are putting, or animal or human cells we are putting, and they can produce the product up to 100 to 1000 liters of culture. Okay, it can consist 100 to 1000 liter of culture media. This much of liter we can put in this, and a bioreactor provides optimal growth conditions. Okay, growth in this, the growth of the organism can be seen, and temperature, pH, substrate, salts, vitamins, oxygen to get the desired product. If we want the desired product, then we have to use the bioreactors. Okay, so these are, you can see here, two types of bioreactors are there, that is stirring type, stir tank bioreactor, and the spark type, which is spark tank bioreactor will say. So it is usually cylindrical. Stirring type, what do we say? Cylindrical curved base to facilitate the mixture of the reactor contents. Base curve agirtida. Why the base is curved here? Because the mixture is to allow the mixture. Okay, mix aglukke. Okay, whatever product we are putting in that stainless steel container, it is going to mix. For that purpose, it is curved at base, and continuous stirring leads to the oxygen facility. Okay, by stirring, oxygen is released. Okay, so it is usually cylindrical. Okay, it is same repeated here. I'm sorry for this. Okay, parts of a bioreactor will see agitator system, oxygen delivery system, foam control system, temperature control system, pH control system. So all these sampling ports, all these are the parts of the bioreactors. Inside this, when we put the organisms, it is stirring by the shaft, and the product is synthesized. Okay, that we have to see. After the synthesis of the products, purification is done, which is called as downstreaming process. Bioreactor, inside the bioreactor will, if the product is synthesized, then it is a series of separate, we have to separate that and purify that after that synthesis. Okay, that is called as what, downstreaming process. It is a series of process such as separation and purification of the products after the biosynthetic phase. That is the downstreaming process. Understood? So with this we are completing the biotechnology principle and process. Okay students, hope so we have understood the complete revision of the biotechnological principle and process. And the next class we are going to deal with what the complete MCQs of the biotechnology principle and process. Okay, well, have a nice day students. Prepare well for the exam, CET exam and NEET exam. All the best for your preparation. Thank you very much.